The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Basketball. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer basketball is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Culver's of Lincoln, home of the Butterburger. Stop by before or after the game, located at 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Heartland Community College is Lincoln's community college. At Heartland, you'll get the personal attention and support you need to be a successful student. Discover Heartland, discover your future. Visit heartland.edu/Lincoln. Schneider Masonry, family owned and operated in Central Illinois with over 40 years of experience, serving builders, contractors, and homeowners. Free estimates available. Call 217-314-9654. Blades Nail and Hair Salon, located at 241 Madigan Drive in Lincoln, offering salon services for hair, skincare, waxing, nails, lashes, and brows. Go online to bladeshairandnailsalon.com or call 217-732-7213. Joe Ryan Country Financial, located in downtown Lincoln at 509 Pulaski Street. Call 217-735-4385. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Basketball. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order Butterburgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln.
Hi, Joe Ryan here with Country Financial. As pensions go by the wayside and your retirement approaches, have you thought about what your retirement income will look like? No, I'm not talking about how much money you have saved. I am talking about a retirement income, a guaranteed paycheck for life. That's right, a paycheck issued to you every month for the rest of your life. Sound interesting? Let's talk. 735-4385.
Welcome back, Railer Nation, here from Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium on an extended pregame as it is senior night, the last regular season game. It has to be a home game, so the Railers will end their regular season here at Coach Neil Alexander Court, taking on the Bulldogs from Mahomet-Seymour in Apollo Conference action. Railers 24-5, fresh off a big-time victory on Tuesday night, 53-40 over the Generals from Decatur MacArthur. Railers 8-2 in the Apollo Conference, sole possession of second place. Mount Zion was the winner of the Apollo Conference with an undefeated record of 11-0, and I think they play tonight or tomorrow, and that would be would give them 12-0 if they go on to win. The Bulldogs check in at 12-15, 6-5 in the Apollo Conference. You're in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic pregame show. Josh Komnick along with Jay Harden and Lloyd Kirby, and thanks for Lloyd to bringing you all the senior festivities that just took place. So it just feels, Jay, on a night like this where the parents and have a few extra extended family probably checking in, not only on YouTube and the radio, but here, of course, at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium. The electricity is a little bit different. I think as you start to turn it up and get a little bit closer to that regional, it just seems like the intensity ramps up, and boy, was it up on Tuesday when the Railers took care of MacArthur.
It sure was. Coach said that team was focused. He could see it in their eyes in the locker room. And Josh, you probably remember from your senior nights, this is quite an emotional night for those 6 kids out on the floor and for manager Aiden Worth. I mean, it is an emotional night. Hopefully these kids come out focused and don't let the emotions get to them. You got a lot of friends and family in the stands. And Josh, I don't know about when you played, but when I was here in high school, it was almost a sin to lose on senior night. You did not want to walk out of this building with a loss on senior night.
Yeah, and this is a team in the Bulldogs who are the Railers took care of Mahomet real early in the season in that Thanksgiving tournament back on the 26th of November, 51-30. But Jay, they gave us a heck of a game when we were over at Mahomet. I believe both of us were over there bringing you that game. That was on the 6th of January, and that was a 48-43 victory by the Railers. But it was down the stretch. I remember, I think the sophomores went into double overtime and I think lost their first game of the season. Yes. And then, the Bulldogs had everything for the Railers. We wanted that night.
And as I recall, we had trouble covering their shooters that night. They hit a bunch of threes from outside the arc, which kind of kept them. They're a team that hangs around. They're a team that plays you pretty physical. And they hit some threes that night, and we just had trouble covering the shooters. But in the end, we were up 5 and won basketball game.
Well, if the Railers have been confident all year, it's tonight after that really big-time display. Probably the best game I've seen of the Railers. Maybe not just this year, maybe in the last couple of years. I mean, the Railers were everywhere, Jay, defensively. Decatur MacArthur turned the ball over 27 times. That's not like them. The Railers really shot it well from the field. They were 50% from the field. They were 50% from three-point land for 8 of 16 on that night. And I don't know that, and Coach Alexander talked about it in the postgame, there was a different focus in the locker room, and it's something that you hope these guys learn from because they're going to need focus not only here tonight, but once Wednesday comes next week, well, you don't want to slip up or you start turning in the uniforms.
No, and when you look at the box score of that game, Josh, we gave up 16 points to MacArthur in the first quarter, shut them down in the second quarter, only gave up 4 points, and the offense remained consistent through really 4 quarters of the basketball game. I was really impressed because I got home after halftime at halftime after doing the girls game, but I was really impressed with the aggressiveness of going to the basket of the Railers and the back cuts they got and the layups they got.
Yeah, they were able to handle the ball. It looks 17 turnovers doesn't look great. It's not terrible, but Coach likes to keep that at about 12. But when you play a style against a style like MacArthur, it was similar when I was coming up. It was Southeast that did that to us, and you're going to turn the ball over a few times. You just can't let them make on big runs. And I thought that was a big key for us on Tuesday was we did turn it over a couple times, and they got baskets out of it, but we limited it to about 2 times in a row, and then we went on a little run ourselves.
But if I remember right, listening to you and Scott, that Lincoln had 10 turnovers alone in the first half.
Yeah.
So 17 for the game. That means they cut it down in the second half. And I don't know how many of those turnovers might have come in that first quarter when MacArthur put 16 points on the board. But when you take a team that was probably, I'll bet you MacArthur was averaging 60, 70 points a game, and I know they put up 80, 90 points earlier this year. They like to get out and run, and Lincoln played defense, didn't let them get on those runs, didn't let them break their back with a long run, and Lincoln got on their own runs and kind of broke MacArthur's back at some point.
Well, MacArthur, you talk about the Apollo Conference winners from Mount Zion winning the league, and they took their aggression out on Mount Zion the next night because Mount Zion went to MacArthur after the night after we played them, and MacArthur beat Mount Zion by, I believe, 10 points. I think it was 66-56. So what a job by the Railer defense. You talked about it. 40 points they gave up to MacArthur, and they turned around the next night and put up 66 on Mount Zion. So this team has got it going, and really, Jay, you talk about you kind of run into the regional after this game, and they've got a regional set up that we can come out on top of this thing.
Yeah, we can, and have a chance really probably to make it to the second sectional finals, Josh, the way it's set up. You've been talking about the defense, and that's been a staple of this basketball program for years. What I'm not sure that a lot of people realize is the defense really has been consistent and carried this team throughout the year. Right now, this team has given up 34.2 points a game, and by my count, if they continue on that pace, that will break the defensive average record for a season here at Lincoln Community High School. That's quite an accomplishment for those kids.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely a record that was broken not too long ago, but then before that had been in the record books for a long time.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break here. 9 minutes even on the clock here before the Bulldogs and the Railers are going to tip it. Send it back to the studios. You're in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic pregame show, and you're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
Welcome back, Railer fans. Give you a quick update on the sophomore score. Railer sophomores win it here on their, I believe it's their last game of the season, 44-31. Their record overall 19-3 on the season. So another great season for head coach Greg Alexander and his assistant Brandon Bird Farmer and Gary Rademacher. Those guys did an excellent job all season long. Getting set for the Railers and the Bulldogs here from Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium on senior night. Railers check in at 24-5 and 8-2 in the Apollo Conference, while Mahomet checks in at 12-15 and 6-5 in league action. Josh Comnick along with Jay Harden and Lloyd Kirby here from Roy S. And Scott, just Scott. Jay? I knew I was going to do that one time.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're going to be back on the air tomorrow. I want to give a quick update for everyone out there that Jay will be bringing you the Lady Railers tomorrow in their regional championship quest over at Bloomington High School. That's a 7 o'clock start. I'm sure they'll be kicking it on with the Coach Frobe pregame show, probably around 6:40, 6:30, something like that?
Yeah, probably about 6:40, 6:45, somewhere around in there. We'll come on with Coach Frobe and do the pregame show. But big night tomorrow night for the Lady Railers, going for regional title number 19 in their 50-year history and the third under Taylor Rohr.
That's going to wrap it up for us here on our pregame show. After a word from our sponsors, Jay and I'll be back here in Lincoln to bring you the play-by-play action as the Railers take on the Bulldogs. As always, a big thank you goes out to all our sponsors. This has been the Josh Comnick, Grau Incorporated, and Schneider Chiropractic pregame show, and you're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.
And welcome to exciting Lincoln Rail Splitter basketball here on WLCN FM 96.3, on WLCNonline.com, on the Mixler app, and of course WLCN 96.3 on the YouTube channel. Railers into their rebounding drill tip drill as they head into the locker room, just about ready to be announced here on senior night. I'm Jay Harden, along with my broadcast partner Josh Connick, Lloyd Kirby, our marketing manager, on-site producer and engineer manning the camera, and Jolie Lurcher, our sweetheart, back at the studio, keeping us honest and keeping us on the air as we get set for the Lincoln Rail Splitters with a record of 24-5 in an Apollo Conference matchup against the Bulldogs out of Mahomet-Seymour with a record of 12-15. Josh, Mahomet-Seymour always plays us very tough. They're a physical basketball team, and as I remember from the trip we made over there, they've got some shooters who can hit the threes.
Well, they're one of the better teams that scouts the Railers. I think takes the time, has the film. They tend to know every play that we call out. You'll see Coach Alexander, especially in this game, doing a lot of hand signals or covering the mouth, maybe trying to cover the mouth while Keon's got the ball on the other end. So just trying to get somewhere so that Mahomet doesn't pick up on it quick. But yeah, they know how to beat the Railers. They did it here, did it there last year in a similar situation. Wasn't it the regional championship last year?
Right, yeah.
That would be coming up on next week. So there's no question that they've done it in some big games.
So Josh, we need to see if our seniors come out as focused as they were Tuesday night against Decatur McCarthy. As you said earlier, probably the finest game this team has played this year, and maybe in a couple of years that they have played against the Generals from Decatur McCarthy. As we are just about a minute away from we're going to have a vocalist tonight for the national anthem, and we're going to keep it right here. Lloyd's going to capture that, and then Josh will bring you the starting lineups for the Bulldogs and the Lincoln Railers on senior night. Josh, there's an electricity in the air tonight.
Yeah, nice crowd has filed in here. A little late coming in, but as you said, seniors are playing, which always brings a couple more people out to check it out, so it's going to be nice. One thing to note too, I was looking at the bench. Drew Hayes in a boot. I know he had gone to see the doctor, and they put a boot in. I'm not sure the extent of it. We'll probably know a little bit more in the postgame when we talk to Coach Alexander, but he is not available here tonight. We hope that he's ready to go on Wednesday.
So the lights go out here at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium, and you folks watching on the YouTube channel, if you've not seen this before, you're about to see one of the most outstanding pregame rituals in high school basketball. This has been going on since the 1977-78 season, first instituted by Coach Lauren Wallace, of turning the lights out and the music, and we're just moments away from the national anthem, so we will go silent as we get set to bring you exciting Lincoln Railer basketball here on WLCN 96.3 FM.
Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Neil Alexander Court at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium for tonight's Apollo Conference matchup between our Depths, the Mahomet-Seymour Bulldogs, and your Lincoln Rail Splitters. A reminder that sportsmanship is one of the primary purposes of high school interscholastic athletic programs. Athletes of the schools participating in the Apollo Conference recognize that judgment calls are made in good faith and that they must abide by the decision of these three officials. Spectators can support your school by refraining from derogatory or intemperate remarks or cheers. We hope that you will enjoy the game and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. At this time, we ask that all please rise and remove your hats as we face the colors of the flag for the singing of our national anthem tonight by an LCHS quartet. The members, Emma Adams, Christy Morrow, Donovan Parrish, and Wyatt Olsted. Oh.
didn't they? In just a second, Josh will have the starting lineups for both teams here on senior night for the 24-5 Lincoln Rail Splitters against the Mahomet-Seymour Bulldogs.
Tonight's starting lineups. First for the Bulldogs, Mahomet-Seymour High School.
I want to let everybody know that just a reminder that Lady Railers back in action tomorrow night, 7 o'clock over at Bloomington High School. Of course, Jay and Lloyd will be over at Bloomington getting set for that game, and Coach Froby will bring you action of the undefeated Railers, and we hope that Jay and the crew can lead us all the way. We're anxious and hope that they play well and one step at a time, but they seem like they're going pretty well right now.
I think so. We got to get us a senior night victory first here, though, Josh.
First man out for the Bulldogs, 6'1" and a junior guard, number 2, Finley Randolph. 6'2" and a senior guard, 22, Dayton Eisenman. Number 44, 6'5", sophomore, Trey Peters. 6'5" and a senior, 51, Wyatt Baum. 6'3" and a senior guard, 55, Jacob Waldinger. Head coach of the Bulldogs, Mr. Ryan Bosch. Again, normally on senior night that every senior gets announced out, at least out of the tunnel that Jay said has been going on for how long? Since 76? Yeah, the starter that doesn't normally start, but a senior, Camden Nelson, number 1, comes out. Number 14, 5'9", and a senior, Cage Kingsley. And 6'2", and a senior, 23, Connor Meager.
Aiden got announced and didn't even come out on the floor.
He's got a job to do. He knows it, right?
I know. I'm right to it, buddy.
First man out is a senior. 22, 6'5", Saucy. Tyler Saucy. Another senior out for head coach Neil Alexander. 6'2" and a senior, Biven. Jake Biven. Another senior starter, 6'7", number 34, Cook. Peyton Cook. 5'7" and a junior, number 10, Carson. Keon Carson. And I thought a guy that had maybe his best game of his career, not only just from the scoring standpoint, but he really did a good job of handling the ball when Keon went out the other night. And that is 5'11" and a junior, number 3, Schilling. Trey Schilling.
I was going to mention that to you. I really was impressed with the way he handled himself the second half.
He was dog-tired.
Yeah.
He was dog-tired at the end, and he found a way to fight through it. Keon went out with a little head injury and ended up coming back in. But, I thought Trey did an excellent job of handling the basketball.
He did.
Of course, head coach Neil Alexander, assisted by Eric Ewald, Greg Alexander, Brandon Bird Farmer, Josh J. Mac McQuillan, Zach Dom, and Gary Rademacher.
Chicago Street Rentals, your tip-off sponsor, and of course the big man on the sidelines, the head man in charge, 772 and 242 here at Lincoln Community High School.
Tonight's tip-off sponsor, Chicago Street Rentals, located at 1909 North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln.
Cook and Peters to tip it up. Cook tips it in the backcourt to Saucy. Saucy to Keon.
You remember right, Jay? Peters was a force in early on in that game over at Mahomet.
He was. Lob play to Cook, up and good. And the Railers break open 2-0.
Well, I think a few fans wanted the dunk, but someone asked me the other day, why doesn't Cook dunk more? I said, well, you make sure you make it first, or you won't be out there to dunk it again.
That's right. You'll be sitting next to Coach.
Right. I've been there.
Randolph over to Eisenman. If I remember right, Eisenman shot the ball pretty good against us at their place in the bomb. He likes to play in the middle. They'll run a kind of a 1-3-1 against the 1-2-2. Bomb goes down low to Randolph. Layup time, up and good.
Yeah, good job there by Mahomet. They didn't stand and watch Bomb at the free throw line. A little cut there by number 2. Led him for an easy basket, Randolph.
In the corner, Cook. Out front, Carson is Schilling. Schilling, Saucy. Saucy with that heavy knee brace on from a knee injury previously. Looks like he's doing okay now. Saucy goes in the lane, doesn't take it. Schilling. Schilling, kick back Biven. Biven to Carson. Raylers running the weave out front. Carson down the lane, splits it up and good.
Yeah, nobody was up. And I think I remember this from the last game too. Randolph could not stay with Carson, and he was an early out for Coach Bosch. He did not stay with Carson, and Carson got a couple easy baskets, and Coach Ryan Bosch went to someone else.
You are correct about that, sir.
Got a good memory tonight.
Yeah, right. Waldinger, Randolph, out front, Waldinger. They're looking to bomb at the free throw line. He's kind of the center of their offense. He'll do a lot of the ball handling and dish off. Eisenman, he can shoot it. Schilling watching him. Eisenman in trouble. Cook ties him up. And a jump ball called, and it will go to Mahomet-Seymour underneath their own basket.
Yeah, and a good reference crew here tonight. I've seen the guy on the baseline, the guy over there, both in Collinsville several times. Not sure the young guy looks familiar. I'm going to ask Coach Jeff Nelson.
Bomb open on the baseline, 12-footer up, no good. Rebound, Schilling up for it and knocked out of bounds. It's going to go Lincoln basketball.
And that's one thing Schilling did a good job too the other night against MacArthur. He didn't quite get all the rebounds, but he was in there scrapping, and it took away from someone from MacArthur to get it, and then the Raylers kind of cleaned it up after it.
Not sure who Schilling gets the toughness from. It must be Mom. That's who I think it is. Cook in the corner right in front of the Mahomet bench. Out front, Carson. Schilling. Saucy. Biven baseline. Out front, Carson. Raylers passing around the horn. Schilling. Carson, top of the key. Carson, Biven. Cook, right wing. Cook, out front, Schilling. Saucy, top of the key. 3, up and no good. Rebound goes to Peters.
Yeah, good look there by Tyler coming off a handoff right at the top of the key and looked good. Nice arch and just didn't go down for him.
Cross court pass to Bomb. He's going to drive in the lane. Up and no good. Rebound. Cook goes up for it above Schilling and grabs it out of there. Carson's going to walk it up the floor now.
Nice to see, too, the Raylers. You know, on senior night, especially if you're a senior, you can try to get something going quicker. Your nerves are a little more different. So it's good to see the patience by the offense.
Cook out baseline, back to Saucy. Saucy, Schilling. I'm not sure that's what they wanted, but that's what they got. Saucy in the lane, up on Bomb. Looked like he might have got fouled. No good. Rebound, Eisenman takes it out of there. Eisenman, Bomb. Bomb stops in the backcourt, picked up his dribble. Eisenman back tipped across the Bomb, tipped by Carson.
Might be a 10-second
Bomb is getting close to 10. Eisenman quickly across the timeline to Randolph. Back out front, Eisenman looks. Goes right side, Peters. Back out front, Eisenman. Out front, Eisenman, Randolph. Looked like he was going to take the 3, didn't take it. Kicks it across. I think that's Waldinger.
Good job by Schilling, sprinting at the shooter to run him off that spot.
Waldinger, a bomb shot 3, hit the front of the iron, and that's about it as Schilling picks it out of there.
Another good defensive effort there by the Raylers. Both Schilling and Keon jumping out at the shooters.
Biven out front, Cook. Cook going to take it down the lane. Cook grabs it, kick out Saucy. 10-footer off the baseline, up, in and out, no good. Rebound, Finn Randolph.
Boy, he's had 2 of those, hasn't he?
Yep. Bomb across the timeline. Lincoln getting good looks. Shots just not dropping. Good pass by Bomb underneath. Goes underneath Peters. Peters in trouble. Back out front to Bomb. Bomb. Cross-court Randolph. 3 on the way. Left wing. Good. Yeah, Finn Randolph hit it.
Didn't run at him quick enough there. And Randolph found his way in the corner. And I think over on Cook's side. And couldn't quite get out on him. And good nice shot there by Mahomet.
4:02 to go here in the first quarter. Mahomet up 5-4. If you just joined us. Cook. Schilling faked the 3, back out front to Carson. Carson to Peyton. Peyton, Biven. Baseline, Saucy. Out front, Peyton. Carson, Schilling drives in, gets it to Saucy. Saucy, a little spin move, going to go down the lane. Saucy, nice little move in the lane, up, no good, but he got fouled. Like the aggressiveness by Tyler Saucy so far.
Yeah, and he's had a couple of shots just in and out, and really could have a couple more points for him and the Raylers. Who just have been unlucky on the rolls. But again, Tyler going to the hoop, seen a little bit more of that from him as the season has gone on. It's nice to see too. He had to sit out for a couple games with that knee injury, and it's nice for especially a senior to be able to come back and battle with your group toward the end.
Saucy hits the first one and ties it up at 5 as the second unit, as we call it, comes in. Sans Drew Hayes, who is on the bench with a boot after that ankle injury in Tuesday night's game against MacArthur. Josh, I was hoping it wouldn't be too bad because it looked like he just stepped on somebody's foot. It wasn't like he went up for a rebound and came down on somebody's foot.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a precautionary with the boot. Saucy with 1 of 2 from the line, but obviously they want to relieve as much pressure as you can for a while, and just heavy ice. high, so hopefully, as we talked about earlier, he can be ready.
Yeah. Tipped away by Carson inside, and Gowan comes out of there with it. Gowan and Nelson in the basketball game. Carson out front, Saucy. Saucy to Nelly. Nelly, Gowan. Corner, Cook. Cook looking for the cutter. Out front, Carson to Nelson. Gowan, Saucy, Carson, Cook. Cook thought about driving it in, gets it to Carson. Keon turns the corner, kick out Gowan. Nelson thought about the long three, didn't take it. Saucy's going to drive in the lane, kick to Carson baseline. Yeah. Gowan back out front, Nelson.
A little reset here, get a little more balanced. Like to see Gowan, who's been one of the guys that has been able to get to the basket a couple times. Had a nice game against MacArthur on Tuesday.
Cook, step back 15-footer, nothing but bottom of the net, and it's 7-5 Lincoln.
Tough shot to defend there, 6-7, and you get to that free throw line, and then you got a little fade backwards, almost impossible to block.
Baum, their big kid out front, goes in the corner, Eisenman. Good job by Saucy covering the shooter. Ball tapped away, Waldinger picks it up. Eisenman, the three in front of the Lincoln bench, no good. Up high, Gowan went for the rebound, couldn't get it. Cook saves it inbounds. Dangerous to save it under their basket.
You're right.
Carson 1-on-3, Wisely pulls it out. Gowan going to drive it in. Kickback, Saucy, three on the way. Chris Coyne, State Farm three for Tyler Saucy and make it 10-5.
Yeah, Tyler has thought one of these has got to go. I've had about two opportunities that the rim weren't favoring me, and tonight, or this time, he didn't even worry about the rim, nothing but net. So a nice little run here for the team in white.
Railers early on, 3 of 6 from the floor at 50%. Like to see that, Josh. Keep it at that 50% level. Waldinger, left wing three up, no good. Rebound, didn't hit much of anything. Saucy and Peters went for the board, and Peters knocked it out of bounds last. Adam Dyer into the basketball game for Jacob Waldinger for the Bulldogs. Lincoln, length of the floor to go. 1:36 to go here in the first quarter. Lincoln up 10-5. Carson will kick it to Saucy, and Lincoln will go into their offense. Out to Cook. Cook thought about the three, didn't take it. Carson. Gowan to pop out.
Oh, got him.
Gowan into Cook. Cook going to take his man to the bucket. Nice fake up and got it into Harm. Give Peyton Cook 6 already on the evening and going to the line for one more.
Yeah, some good action there by the Railers. A couple different turns, a couple different cuts, and all of a sudden you get Cook to set a down screen and then just turn in the middle of the lane, and he provides the contact with the head fake and then goes into him and then knocks down the free throw.
Up and got it. Give Peyton 7. It's 13-5 Lincoln. Josh, you can feel a confidence about this team right now, especially after that game against MacArthur.
Well, we just haven't been consistent from shooting the basketball this year, Jay, and I think we were as good as we have been all year against maybe the best team that we played all season long.
Peters went in the lane, turn around. I think they're going to nail Peyton Cook on the foul. His first, the team's first. And Trey Peters, a 6'5 sophomore, going to go to the line. And Josh, if I remember right, like you, he did some damage inside against us at Mahomet.
Yeah, it was early on. And I remember he blocked a couple of Peyton's shots.
He did.
And Peyton, and then in the second half, whether he figured it out, the coaches told him you got to pump fake, and had a little more success against him and really kind of shut him down after that. But you're right, he scored a couple baskets, and then he was really good defensively against Peyton.
Second one by Peters is good. Make it 13-6, the Lincoln lead. They went for the play inside, and it wasn't there. Peters did a good job of defending it. Cook out to Carson. Nelson, 47 seconds on the clock, and nearly threw it away. Cook wisely gets it. Had Nelson as the cutter, couldn't get the ball to him. Saucy in the corner, Gowan. Gowan, Carson. Carson, a little shake and bake. What was that? Up and good. Wow. Cupped the ball and laid it up and in.
Yeah, I don't know if Keon had an idea what he was going to do, but one thing he was going to do was get to the basket, and then all of a sudden it kind of opened up for him and he put it off. So Keon with 4 here, and again Randolph just can't stay with him.
15-6. Peters going to try and back it in again. Eisenman, the fake, doesn't take it. And what's the call here? Looks like a foul on the floor. And it's going to go, I think, against Cam Nelson.
Yeah, was that on the pass?
Yeah, I think so. Biven in the basketball game for Cook.
And one thing with Hayes out, Saucy having to play a lot more minutes. You know, he's usually a guy that stays in for the first 4 or 5, and then Hayes comes in with that group that we call the second string or whatever. But now Saucy having to play a lot more minutes than he's used to.
Bomb Goes inside to Peters, blocked by Sassi. Up and threw it up. Was it good? And they're going to count the basket. So at the end of one, it is Lincoln 15, Mahomet-Seymour 8. We're going to send it back to the studios for 60 seconds. You're listening to Railer Basketball on WLCN FM.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Jay Harden and Josh Connick back here at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium. Railers 6 of 9 in the first quarter. Josh from the floor lead at 15-8 over Mahomet-Seymour. Good first quarter for Lincoln.
Yeah, you're right. 1 of 2 from the three-point line, and Mahomet 3 of 9 from the field, and 1 of 4 from the three.
Possession arrow Lincoln. They start second half. Bivin back on the floor. Into Nelson corner.
Well,
back out front Carson.
They know Nelson can shoot the three. They have not left his side one bit so far.
Bivin looking. Now Mahomet's really picking up the defense.
Yeah, Bivin can go by him.
Bivin in the lane, kick out Carson. Corner Gowan. Gowan drives baseline. Nice drive. In trouble. Gets it to Carson. Carson, Nelly, Cook, Bivin. Bivin fakes baseline, goes back out front Nelson. Now to Carson. Keon going to go down the lane, kick Bivin. Bivin nearly had it stolen away. Ball on the floor. Good job by Jake Bivin to Nelson. Carson thought about the three and may get called for the travel.
Yeah, good ball movement there. A lot of ball movement, maybe a couple extra passes. And Nelson with a nice pass to Keon. And Keon was going to have a wide open layup, but the ref thought he shuffled the feet before he took off. That's a travel.
Bomb across the half-court line. Bomb, Eisenman, Randolph. In the corner, Dyer to Bomb. Had somebody open and stolen away by Bivin under the basket.
Yeah, Jake, and that's one thing that when he's done here, you're going to see a missed defender on this club next year. Jake is excellent defender, one of the better ones we've had. People just don't score on his side, and he's a very good anticipator.
Bivin back out front, Gowan, Carson.
Let's say we need to run some sort of a three in that corner for Nelson.
Long shot up, no good. Rebound. Bivin skies for it, goes up and didn't get it. Doggone it. Rebound Eisenman. Eisenman quickly ahead to Dyer. Carter Selk in the basketball game for Mahomet, number 50. And ball thrown away and recovered by Nelson. Another turnover for Mahomet-Seymour. Quickly up the floor to Gowan. Gowan thought about the three, didn't take it. Out front, Bivin. Nelly. Cook in the corner. Cook, nice drive baseline, got bumped. Down to Nelson. Three out of the way. No good. Rebound on the floor. Bomb picks it out of there. Bomb still in the backcourt again. He'll play center, but he also brings the ball up the floor a lot.
Yeah, and very methodical. He has an idea what he's going to do with it. He's not worried about anyone stealing it from him. He's very patient and generally makes the right decision, although Bivin picked the last one off last game, or last possession. But a little scoring drought here, Jay. Nobody scored here in the second quarter.
Mahomet inbounds to Dyer. Dyer between the circles. Left wing Randolph. Out front Dyer. Looking inside the Bomb. Selk in the corner. Out front Randolph. In the corner they go to Eisenman. Eisenman loves to shoot it. Dyer might shoot it. Bomb to Eisenman. They go baseline. Selk threw the ball away. Here comes Nelson. Doesn't have the numbers. Let's see what he does. Nearly lost it out of bounds. Back out front Bivin to Cook. Schilling. Schilling looks. Nelson. Carson on the bench. Getting a little bit of a rest. Cook out front Schilling. Schilling, Gowan. Gowan, Cook. Cook. Stop from going in the lane. Now Cook will go in the lane. Kick it back out to Nelson. Bivin.
Just strong enough to hold Cook off from getting into the middle.
Gowan, long three, and a Chris Coyne State Farm three goes in. Aiden Gowan with the three right in defender's face. 18-8 the Lincoln lead.
Yeah, big basket there for Gowan. Really nothing set for him. Just pulled up with a guy in his face and was able to drill. Good hustle back by Cook.
Cook thought he might have saved it. Didn't. It's out of bounds, and it'll go Mahomet basketball. But what hustle by Peyton
You're
Cook.
right. He was guarding a guy on the opposite side on the three-point line. The ball was skipped to the other side in front of the Raider bench, and then that guy tried to throw it to the block diagonal, and Cook on a full sprint was able to deflect it. Couldn't save it and get a steal, but stopped the possession so far for Mahomet.
Selk inbounds to Finn Randolph. Byron Lynch in the basketball game, number 3 for Mahomet. Nelson got his hands on it. It hit the ref. Back to Randolph in the corner. Selk drives baseline and got pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, again, it's one thing. This defense, as good as they've been, 34 points a game or something that you said, Jay, only giving up 40 to MacArthur. We don't do a good job of cutting off the baseline. Generally, it results in a layup or a foul almost every time.
And we've talked about that all year long, too, Josh. Selk baseline, out front, Waldinger back in the basketball game. Step in the lane, up, no good. Rebound, Gowan gets the rebound. Nelson's out ahead of the pack. Gowan will slow it up. No, he won't. He'll head in.
Skip it.
Gowan had to skip, didn't take it, and missed it with an air ball from 5 feet over the basket.
Yeah, Aiden with a good take. He just had Nelson way in the corner wide open.
Randolph in a little bit of trouble. Out front, Lynch. Lynch to Randolph. Out front, Lynch. Byron Lynch, and Mahomet's going to really pull it out now and try and see if they can get us to chase a little bit. Lynch thought he traveled with the basketball. No call. In trouble. Goes inside. Ball batted away from Peters, and Gowan ahead of the pack. Gowan to Nelson. Bivin, Cook stopped 3, up and no good. Back of the iron, rebound Lynch.
Yeah, another shot, quick shot for the Railers. One or no pass on this end, and then you miss it, and you give a chance for Mahomet here to cut into this lead.
Schilling nearly knocked it away. Lynch recovers it on the left wing. Lynch, baseline Peters. Peters in trouble and trapped. Out to Randolph. Randolph, Lynch. Selk at the free throw line. Lynch, Randolph. Back to Lynch. They play catch with it. Into Selk. Selk in the corner. Up and good. And that three-pointer was by Waldinger. Waldinger got a 3 out of the corner.
Yeah, and what they did, they got it at that free throw line. And then big 50, Carter Selk found Waldinger over in the corner. And you just talk about quick shots on our end, Jay, and then they kind of work it for about 45 seconds and then get a wide open 3 and knock it down.
Josh, we need to check the Me Realty list of the game. Your 3 keys to tonight's game, Josh.
Well, I think it's always been one of the keys for senior night is, especially if you're a senior, you're excited, you're sad. There's a lot of emotion there going on. Just make sure that you're ready to play the game and don't try to do anything extra that you don't normally do. I don't think Coach Alexander would allow that, but sometimes you get a little too amped up, and then just carry on the momentum that we had on Tuesday. If you can ride that momentum, a good game against a very good team you beat here pretty handily, it's something you can ride into regionals for a while.
Lincoln the basketball. 3:15 to go here in the half, up 18-11. Cook looking for somebody, kicks it out to Gowan. Gowan, Schilling, going inside to Cook and overthrew him, and it goes to Selk. Down here they come, down the lane, up, and Lynch got everybody up and got the 5-footer.
Yeah, turnover and led to some easy baskets there by Lynch. So turnover, and now you see Mahomet right back into it.
Josh, that offensive flow we had in the first quarter doesn't seem to be present right now.
You're right. A lot of passing around the perimeter and kind of settling for some three-pointers.
Cook, Schilling, Bivin. Back to Cook. Cook to Bivin. Bivin out front, Gowan. Gowan stops free throw line. The defense stops him. Eisenman stopped him. Back to Schilling, to Sassi, to Cook. Schilling fakes it. Cook almost turned the corner. Thought about the step back shot. Gives it to Bivin. Bivin spin in the lane. Bivin back out front. Gowan to Sassi. Give credit to the Mahomet defense. They're playing pretty good defense right now. Cook spins in the lane on Selk. Kick back Schilling. 3 on the way. Got it. A Chris Coyne State Farm 3 for Trey.
We didn't have a lot going on there. There's a lot of dribbling, a lot of passing and handing off, and not much directional drive or penetration toward the hoop. And all of a sudden, Cook gets into that 3-point or that free throw line and gives it back to Schilling, and Schilling able to dial it up.
Waldinger, Lynch, they play catch out front, goes to Eisenman. Eisenman in trouble. Ball batted away by Bivin. I think they're going to nail Jake for the foul. He probably did.
First, I think the foul number 24, Jake
Kind of looked like maybe he got a little arm there along with the basketball.
I think he got it early, and then he was able to kind of strip it away. So it kind of looked a little late on the call, but again, no real foul trouble for either team. 4 for the Railers and 2 for.
Selk tried to lay it up inside and blocked and knocked out of bounds. They say it went off Mahomet last.
Yeah, it looked like it was blocked by Saucy or Cook, one of the two in there, and then the referee said it hit off of Selk's shoulder to go out of bounds.
Cook out front. Cook going to go down the lane. Got hit by Selk. No call. Ball on the floor. Look at this. There's a lot of banging going on the floor. Gowan picks it up. The kick out. Schilling 3 on the way. Got it. 2 in a row. Another Chris Coyne State Farm 3. And make it 24-13 Lincoln.
Yeah, but nice hustle there by Cook. He didn't have anywhere to go. Got caught in some traffic and it went down. He went down to get it. Kicked it, I believe, to Keon, or maybe it was Gowan. And Gowan found Schilling.
Waldinger, the nice fake. Waldinger drives in. Schilling might have had the pick there, and coach isn't happy. That'll be his first, the team's 5th, with 59 seconds to go. 59.6 exactly to go here in the half. Quick first half here at Lincoln.
Yeah.
Up 24-13.
Not a lot of fouls.
Nope. Mahomet goes a lob pass into Peters. Peters in trouble. Goes up against Saucy. Little hook shot, didn't get it. Rebound batted around, and Cook pulls it out of there.
Good positioning there for Mahomet on the out-of-bounds play, but thankful for the Railers that he didn't get it to go.
Keon, another drive in the lane and a layup. Wow! And a technical foul called, and I think it's going to go on Keon. Oh, and coach will not be happy about that. I don't know what happened. They must have been jawing back and forth. And it was, let's see.
Shooting 2 for Mahomet.
It was on Keon. That will be his first personal foul. Dayton Eisenman goes to the line. Boy, Josh, you just hate to give that up here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, you get him going and you score a basket, and then you really had some nice momentum after a couple threes by Schilling and then the drive, and most likely it was, Keon probably spouting off to the guy that was defending him that can't guard me or something like this, and all of a sudden the ref turns on his hearing aids to hear it all, and then you got a technical.
Eisenman makes both of them. Mahomet will get the ball back, 38 seconds to go, and Keon takes a seat down there, and he is getting a nice little lecture from coach.
Yeah, so Eisenman comes in and nails it. Was a 13-point lead, now back to 11.
In the corner, Eisenman, 3 over Cook, and didn't get it. Rebound, Schilling goes up for it.
Yeah, another great positioning there by Schilling. Undersized on the backside, but does a good job of keeping that defender on his butt, or offender, I guess, and goes up high for the rebound.
Lincoln spread the floor. Looks like they're going to play here for the last shot of the half.
Yeah, I think so, easily. 12 seconds now.
Schilling going to start the offense, gets it to Cook. Cook looking for Saucy. There he is. Kick out to Nelson in the corner. 3 out of the corner. No good. Rebound. Nelly got it. Layup.
Oh, he got hit in the head.
Got hit, didn't get it. Ball batted out of bounds, and it went off Mahomet. That's going to end the first half. And with the score, Lincoln 26, Mahomet-Seymour 15. We're going to send it back to the studios for a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, Josh and I will have the Grau Incorporated Schneider Chiropractic halftime show.
scoring here at halftime for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs were led by Finley Randolph. Randolph with 5. 3 apiece for Trey Peters and Jacob Waldinger. And 2 for Byron Lynch and Dayton Eisenman on 2 free throws. The Railers led in the first half. 7 points for the senior Peyton Cook. 6 for Trey Schilling. 6 also for Keon Carson. 4 points for Tyler Saucy and 3 for Aiden Gowan. Again, the Railers lead it here at halftime, 26-15. We'll send it back to the studios for a quick break. Back with more of the halftime show. You're in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic halftime show, and you're listening to Lincoln Railer basketball.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln.
Hi, Joe Ryan here with Country Financial. As pensions go by the wayside and your retirement approaches, have you thought about what your retirement income will look like? No, I'm not talking about how much money you have saved. I am talking about a retirement income, a guaranteed paycheck for life. That's right, a paycheck issued to you every month for the rest of your life. Sound interesting? Let's talk. 735-4385.
Welcome back here, Railer fans. Here at halftime, the Railers lead at 26-15 over the Bulldogs from Mahomet-Seymour. You're in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic halftime show. Josh Komnick along with Jay Harden and Lloyd Kirby. And Jay will run through the stats here. First for the Bulldogs, Mahomet 5 of 15 from the field, 2 of 6 from three-point land for 33%. They were 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 9 rebounds for Mahomet, and 1 of them offensive. They got 5 turnovers, no steals for the Bulldogs to go along with their 3 assists. The Railers shot it pretty well, 10 of 20 from the field, 4 of 9 from three-point land for 44%, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 67%. 10 rebounds, 2 of them offensive, only 2 turnovers for the Railers, 6 steals to go along with their 5 assists. Again, the leading scorer for the Railers, Peyton Cook. Cook with 7. He's also got 3 rebounds to go along with Trey Schilling. He also has 3 rebounds. Schilling with a nice quarter as well. 6 points and 3 rebounds for Schilling.
Yeah, good game so far for Trey Schilling, and Peyton Cook showing some aggressiveness so far. Josh, I can't help but think, though, this is a game they could really use Drew Hayes.
Yeah, and I think just to give Tyler a break, he's not, like we talked about earlier, he's not used to playing the minutes, and Drew does so many things well, especially defensively on the boards. I think he's really, really improved from about midway through the season till now. I think the confidence has gone up, and that stinks when you've got something like that going on with regionals coming up. It's hard to keep your rhythm. It's hard to keep your conditioning. And we just hope that that Drew will be able to go by Wednesday.
The other thing I think of him, too, especially against MacArthur, is the ball handling that he gives you. And Mahomet does not pressure a lot. They may here in the second half if they're behind. I could see them ramping up the pressure into the backcourt, but he does give you that extra ball handler out there, which doesn't hurt.
Again, the Lady Railers back in action tomorrow night over in Bloomington for the regional championship. Jay and Coach Froby will have that. I think, Lloyd, you're making the trip with the camera, so we'll have that going on about 6:40 tomorrow as they Lady Railers look to improve even more on that undefeated season and bring you a regional championship. And then the boys, actually the girls will be before the boys even next week, I believe, right?
That's right.
Tuesday night if they win?
If they win, they would play the winner of the Decatur-Eisenhower Regional down at Rochester at 6 p.m. That'll be a sectional doubleheader down at the Rocket Booster Fieldhouse down there at Rochester.
Who'd you say that possibly be against?
Well, Mount Zion and Chatham-Glenwood will play for the Eisenhower Regional Championship. I think Mount Zion may squeak by that and come out of there with it. And it's a team Lincoln has faced a couple of times. They've also faced Chatham-Glenwood this year, too.
Well, and you know, you don't want to look too far ahead, but then probably the real matchup would be Rochester on their home court for a sectional title. The Railers will be back, boys will be back in action on Wednesday as we travel over to Champaign Central. Don't quite know who the opponent will be, right, Jay? We're going to wait till that can happen.
Winner of Rantoul and Danville.
That takes place when?
I believe, is it Saturday? I think it's Saturday afternoon.
That's what I thought. Yeah, so Saturday we'll know more about that, and I'm sure you'll bring that to us, to everybody out there on Tuesday when you're bringing the girls' action to us. But we'll send it back to the studios for a quick break, and we'll have second half action here in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic halftime show, and you're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
Back at Roy S., Jay Harden, Josh Conley, just about to start the second half. Hey, Josh, you've been mentioning the girls and got to give a shout-out to those Lady Railer alums. 56 of them so far got together, kicked in some money to sponsor the broadcast in the postseason. Not only that, we got cookies at the game on the other night there at Bloomington. So, hey, if you want to come and do a Lady Railer broadcast, we can probably score you some chocolate chip cookies.
There's a good chance if I go to the game tomorrow night that I'll be bringing my book bag, and I will be doing the radio whether they know it or not.
Eisenman out of the corner didn't get it. Schilling again, skies for the rebound.
Fourth rebound by Trey, and again, undersized on that end, and Trey comes away with it.
Schilling to Saucy, left wing Bivin, threw it at Cook's feet. Peyton was able to handle it, back out front Saucy. Gowan in the basketball game. Carson still on the sidelines. Out front, Saucy. Saucy, Schilling. Schilling, Bivin. Bivin to Cook. Cook looking to turn the corner, kicks it to Saucy. Saucy handoff Gowan. Mount Zion really plugging the middle up, not letting us drive. Bivin, ball batted away by Baum, able to recover and give it to Saucy.
Yeah, really, Coach reluctant to go into any of our sets here. I don't know if he's concerned that Mahomet would know him or wants to try and kill some clock here, but the Railers just passing around the three-point line and not getting really.
Saucy, three on the way, no good. Front of the iron, rebound Finn Randolph. 6:57 to go if you just joined us here in the second half. Lincoln up 26-15. Waldinger nearly threw it away into the scorer's table. Baum leaped high to get it. Out front, Finn Randolph. Randolph, Waldinger. They're going to work out at the volleyball line. Eisenman in the corner. Lincoln's been able to pretty much shut him down. Eisenman, by the time I say that, he'll hit a 3. Out front, Randolph. Waldinger. Eisenman almost set up there. Waldinger. Randolph, he'll show up the 3. Up and no good. Rebound. Peters goes up for it. Peters up against Cook. They're going to nail Cook for the foul, I believe.
Yeah, and all based on the rebound by Peters. As you said, beat Cook to the ball on the offensive rebound and could not Cook couldn't get around and get good position. I thought he did a good job of going straight up, but it must have been some contact around the elbow.
Randolph misses the first one. Well, Josh, I'm going to lean on you for a second here. There was a much better offensive flow against MacArthur than there has been here from the second quarter on. Is it the Mahomet-Seymour defense?
A little bit, because they're so packed inside. You know, they don't come a lot really out on you at the three-point line where, I mean, it was just helter-skelter against MacArthur, and you could run backdoor cuts. There aren't a lot of them open here because Mahomet does do a pretty good job of backside help.
They don't gamble a lot on defense.
Right,
MacArthur did.
They're going to let you do this all night, right? So MacArthur would not.
Out front, Schilling, left wing, Gowan. Gowan takes the 3 up, no good, didn't hit a thing. Bivin chases it down in the corner. Bivin baseline, 15-footer up, no good. Schilling went up for the rebound, couldn't get it, was boxed out, and the rebound, Peters comes down with it.
Yeah, another missed possession there by the Railers, and Mahomet able to come down here and cut into this lead. They kind of did this in Mahomet, back in January, where they just hung around, and all of a sudden we had about a 3-point game there for a while.
Eisenman in the corner, posting bomb at the free throw line. They're working Peters also inside as well, and then he'll pop out to the wing depending on where the ball's at. They go Eisenman right wing, goes inside, ball on the floor, through a bad pass. Lincoln, hands all over it, and Baum may get called for the foul.
I was going to say he ran into Bivin. Bivin going for the ball. Coaches for Mahomet not happy with it. It's almost a scrum, like a football, loose ball or a fumble, and just got a little too much extra on Bivin's arm.
Speaking of football, that was almost a clipping call on Baum there. He came from behind and knocked Bivin down.
Yeah, they're a good football school over Mahomet as well.
Bivin out front, Schilling, Saucy, 3 up. Oh, I thought it was the lob to Cook, and it may have been. Didn't get there.
Yeah, it was just the screen was set late, and Saucy read it early. Ooh, nice.
Oh, what a steal by Schilling.
I tell you, they're really good at that. Was it would in a trap go up and just steal it out of the pass, and that was Adam Osborne.
Yep. Gowan misses the 3 off the left wing on a quick shot. Rebound goes to Peters.
Yeah, you got to really be able to on fire in really good rhythm there. If you miss that, it obviously gives Mahomet another quick chance to get back on the score column. And I thought there's been a lot of quick shots for the Railers here tonight.
Get it. Oh, almost stolen by Bivin. The cross-court pass. They go into Baum. Free throw line up and no good. Back of the iron. Rebound Bivin.
Oh, thank goodness they can't score either.
Bivin to Schilling. 4:30 to go. Half the third quarter almost over. And only 1 point has been scored between both teams. Thank you, Rudy. We got your text. We appreciate you listening and enjoying the broadcast.
Yeah, Rudy Clockengate checking out the game in Bloomington, as it sounds like he has all season long.
Cook, nice little move in the lane. Cook, bump. Oh, blocked again by Peters. There was what Peters did at Mahomet-Seymour.
Yeah, Cook just cannot get by that guy to get into the lane or get a easier, clean-looking shot. Where it just Mahomet just tends to put enough bodies on you, right? Just holding you a little bit more. Chatham Glenwood tends to do that a lot. They just body in. It's really tough for our guys to get anything going toward the basket, and that's where I think that off-season conditioning's really got to become better for the Railers, is just a strength perspective on what they need to do.
And it's not that Peters jumps real high. He's got long arms, and he times it. It's excellent timing from what I see. Oh, and Gowan thought he had a pass inside and threw the ball away.
Yeah, and I think you said it right, Jay. As fluid and as good as we looked on Tuesday, this third quarter, and maybe a lot of the second quarter, there wasn't a whole lot of scoring for the Railers there either. We have kind of looked the opposite here tonight.
Lynch in the backcourt to Baum. Baum nearly traveled in the backcourt, throws it across to Peters. Now to Lynch. Lynch drove in, now he's going to kick it back out. Mahomet will take their time. No, they won't. Lynch will throw up the 3, up, no good. Rebound, Peters got it underneath, throws it up and in.
Yeah, Cook now rebounded, just getting beat up underneath. Peters just going after a little bit harder, and you can't watch as that shot goes up. You got to find position.
Bivin going to come in for Peyton Cook. That's 2 on Cook with 3:18 to go here in the third quarter. Peters, their 6'5" sophomore at the line, up and got it. So make it 26-19.
Peters with a nice little spurt here in the third quarter. He's got several baskets and a couple free throws now.
Biven, Nelson, Saucy. Saucy looking for the cutter inside. Schilling, out front Nelly. Biven, Gowan, Schilling, Saucy, Nelson to Schilling. Saucy, Gowan in the corner. Out front Nelly. Biven, Schilling. Raylers working the ball around without dribbling. That's impressive. Looks like they're maybe running just a little bit of clock.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we're definitely not really looking to penetrate and get to the hoop.
Saucy, Schilling. Trey looking for somebody. Now he's going to put the ball on the floor. Oh, picked up his dribble. Now in a little bit of trouble and threw the ball. And Nelson got pushed there. No call by Waldinger. Pushed him, got the layup. Look, folks, my vision's not that good, but I can see that one from here. He did push him going for the basketball. No call, and it's 26-21.
Yeah, too long of a pass, Trey. We talked about it in the broadcast on Tuesday against MacArthur. You can't pick your dribble up with no reason to pick it up, and we did that against MacArthur a few times.
Gowan going to drive down the lane, got fouled by Lynch.
Yeah, and that's one of the first drives we've had all night, just really getting, maybe from the first quarter, Cook had a couple, but really putting your head down and getting by these guys and trying to get to the hoop. Gowan with an aggressive drive, and something's got to get going here for the team in white.
Looking to get it in. There goes in Saucy. Saucy against Baum. He stopped. Back out to Biven. Schilling. Gowan. Nelson going to fire up the long three. No good. Rebound tapped out of there by Biven, but Peters is going to run out ahead of the pack and grab it. Schilling bats it out of bounds. Minute 59 to go. 26-21, the Lincoln lead. And Josh, Mahomet does this. They just kind of hang around, and the next thing you know, you're in a ball game with them.
Yeah, you're right. And they've done this. They did this back in Mahomet in January, and the Railers just unable to put any kind of scoring together.
Well, Baum got behind the defense. We've talked about the baseline all year, but unfortunately couldn't handle the pass. Unfortunately, it goes back to the Railers.
If our stats are correct, I don't think Lincoln has scored in the third quarter.
No, they have not. Lincoln held scoreless so far in the third quarter. Schilling, minute 29 to go here in the third. Schilling going to pull it back out. Raylers going to go to a set, it looks like here, as Biven pops out, looking for Saucy. Biven tried to pass it to Saucy, didn't get the pass up high enough, and Mahomet knocks it away. Baum, right wing. Baum looking, goes out front, Waldinger, Lynch. Carter Selk in the basketball game for Mahomet. Looking to Peters in the corner. Lynch spins. Gowan takes it away. Here comes Gowan. Gowan up against Waldinger. Layup time. Got it.
All right, good. Big basket there. A little turnover. I think it was a tip away by Schilling, and then Gowan picked it up, and it was a foot race to the other end, and Gowan's going to win most of those.
Make it 28-21 Lincoln. 49 seconds to go here in the third. Lynch across the timeline. Baum in front of the bench. Up and no good on the three. Saucy skies for the rebound against Peters, and let's see, do they call it a jump ball? They do.
Yeah, both Saucy, I believe Saucy and Schilling in there going against Peters. So a good attack there by the Railers. Gage Kingsley kegs in. Saucy heads to the bench, and Peyton Cook checks in.
Senior Kingsley getting a few minutes here. Peyton Cook comes back in the basketball game with 2 fouls. Let's see what happens here. Biven, they're looking inside to Cook. Nelson looks, gets in the bounce pass. Cook.
Railers got a cut here.
Cook out front Kingsley. Gowan. Biven nearly threw the basketball away going for Kingsley.
What an indecision right now.
Biven in trouble. Goes in the corner, Nelson out front Kingsley to Nelly.
You've seen Mahomet start to pick up their defense a little bit. They're checking us out a little bit farther than they were earlier.
Gowan goes to Biven. Kingsley down the lane, throws it up and got it.
Yeah.
Kingsley gets in the scorebook at the end of 3 quarters. It is Lincoln 30. Mahomet-Seymour 21. We're going to send it back to the studios for 1 minute. We'll be back with the fourth quarter. You're listening to Railer Basketball on WLCN FM. Back at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium, where Lincoln broke the scoring drought on a layup from Gowan, a layup from Cage Kingsley. We're up 30, or Lincoln's up 30-21 as we head into the fourth quarter. Todd Tim watching from Georgia on the YouTube channel. Mike Caskey rooting them on from Omaha Avenue here in Lincoln. Clark Holtman's rooting Lincoln on tonight. Michael Gowan watching on the YouTube channel tonight.
Well, we'll hopefully have a better fourth quarter than we did on the third. Just 4 points for the Railers, although good thing for them, Mahomet only scored 6.
Mahomet down 9 with the basketball. Selk, free throw line, drives in on Bivin. Baseline, Peters up, no good, back to the iron. Rebound, Bivin.
Good job by
foul.
Bivin. Yeah, Bivin was guarding the guy at the free throw line. A shot by Peters in the corner, and Jake really attacked that rebound and over the back foul, I believe, on Baum. And the Railers are going to have to come up here a little bit more. Here, we should be used to this here. We just saw it all night Tuesday.
Bivin going to bring the ball up, gets it to Gowan. Gowan across the timeline. Gowan drives in, kicks it back out. Bivin. Cook, top of the key, thought about it, didn't take it. Kingsley, Bivin, Nelson. Nelson looking for the back cutter. Nelson kicks it to Kingsley. Kingsley, Bivin, Gowan, they go inside. Cook should have taken his man in the lane, didn't. Out to Bivin, 3 on the way, no good, short. Rebound, ball on the floor, Baum picks it out of there.
Yeah, Cook, that's a perfect spot for Cook to catch it and spin middle and go half hook with the right hand, and he just doesn't have a lot of experience doing that.
Baum diagonal pass to Selk. He nice spin move on the baseline, lays it up and in, make it 30-23. 7 minutes exactly to go here in a basketball game. Hope you're enjoying this one. Last home game for the seniors here at Lincoln Community High School. Kingsley, right wing Gowan. Gowan out front, Cook between through his hands, and Selk picks it out of there. Here comes Wyatt Baum in a hurry now. He'll slow it up. Baum, the pass through the ball out of bounds, through the hands of Waldinger.
One guy doesn't catch it on this end, and Mahomet fumbles it out of bounds on this end.
Saucy into the game for Bivin. Andy Fitzpatrick keeping track of the stats, says that's 7 turnovers on the Bulldogs so far. 6 on the Railers. Saucy. Nelson looking inside again to Cook, posting up on Peters.
Yeah, Cook scoreless here in the second half, Jay. He had 7 at the first half, and same so far.
Nelly over Peters, doesn't get it. Cook went over the back. I pushed Selk in the back. I got to correct myself, Josh. Jeff Nelson would tell me there's no such thing as over the back. And he's sitting right in front of us. The whole Nelson family sitting right in front.
Just a push?
Yeah. The whole Nelson family's sitting right in front of us tonight. We got to behave.
Over the back is showing your age, I think.
Yep.
That's what they used to call it.
Yep.
Well, me too.
Lynch into the front court. Again, Mahomet just hanging around there.
Yeah, very methodical. Get kind of what they want.
Nice bounce pass to Baum, but behind him, and it goes out of bounds back to the Railers.
And really, the Railers dodge another bullet there. I mean, he catches that ball. It's probably a layup. So you see the difference in the intensity from Tuesday is quite a bit different than from here tonight.
Cook out front, Kingsley to Gowan. Gowan back out front, Kingsley. Cook going to take baseline up and no good, blocked away. Lynch lost it. Thought he lost it out of bounds. He was able to save it, and here comes Mahomet the other way. Lynch across the timeline to Waldinger. They go inside. Peters was tripped by Cook. And Cook going to pick up the foul, and I think that's 4 on Peyton.
Yeah, a quick 2 here in the fourth quarter, which doesn't bode well for the Railers, especially when you have Hayes on the bench with the ankle injury, but just shows a little bit of the of what Jake Bivin means to this team. He can go in and start playing it back against the defense.
They lob it into Baum. A great block by Saucy.
Yeah.
Saucy to Kingsley. Kingsley pushing it up the floor. Kingsley back to Saucy to Bivin. In the corner, Nelson.
Boy, we need a Nelly 3 here.
Saucy in the corner, Bivin. Out front, Kingsley. They got Peters on Nelson right now, so he's playing against somebody bigger, and I think Mahomet's going to get called for the foul. Give it to Carter Selk. That is his first and their 4th. So fouls even at 4-4 with 5:12 to go in a basketball game, and Lincoln up 7, 30-23.
A lot of time left. Railers need a basket here.
Out front, Gowan. Gowan with the lane open, lays it up and got it.
Foul too.
And no call on the foul.
A lot of body there on the end of the layup, but a great strong drive by the junior Aiden Gowan.
Waldinger throws it across to Eisenman. Got to watch him. He'll shoot it out to Lynch. Waldinger, Lynch. In the corner, Eisenman. Goes around Biven, baseline. Throws it out front. Kingsley got a paw on it.
Yeah.
Waldinger.
Good job by recovery there by the Railers.
Out front, Waldinger to Lynch. Into Selk. Selk bowls down the lane. Throws it out of bounds, and I think they'll get Biven on the foul. Remind you, we haven't had a chance to talk much about our sponsors. Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln. Trust the professionals at Me Realty. Check out merealty.com. Culver's of Lincoln, home of the Butter Burger. Stop by before or after the game, located at 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln.
Yeah, Coach Bosch wanted a foul there, a shooting foul, and I thought he was bright. I thought Selk was going up for the layup.
He was, but we'll take the call. Selk bowls his way in the lane again. A little left-handed hook up, no good. Good defense by Sassi. Ball on the floor. Gowan comes out of there with it.
I will say one thing about our defense tonight, especially, Jay. We've been, when the ball's been on the ground, we've been there, and we've come up with them.
Kingsley in the corner. Nelson thought about loading it up against Peters, didn't. Biven's going to get fouled out front by Eisenman, 30 feet from the basket.
Well, and what the Railers have to realize, too, here is it's getting to that time where Mahomet's going to start to turn that pressure up. They're going to start not worrying as much about fouling, and so they're going to be really aggressive on the defensive end, and then the Railers got to be really strong with the ball. I mean, they've got to rip and go. They've got to meet their passes. For the most part, did a great job of it on Tuesday, and you're going to have to do the same thing here again tonight.
Kingsley in the backcourt against Waldinger, behind the back dribble. Kingsley to Schilling. Schilling in the game for Nelson.
Cannot make a long pass.
Schilling, Kingsley in the corner. Gowan against Lynch. Out front, Sassi. Cook on the bench with 4. Out front, Schilling. Schilling to Kingsley. Kingsley going to drive in the lane. Kingsley in a little bit of trouble. Kick back out. Biven had the lane open up, didn't take it. Biven stopped to Sassi. Sassi to Gowan. Gowan, Kingsley. Schilling. Railers running a little bit of clock here, looking for a layup. Sassi going to take it in the lane. Sassi goes up, 5-footer up, no good. Rebound Eisenman. 3:33 to go. They go ahead quickly to Peters. Peters against Biven. He'll kick it back out Waldinger. Out front to Lynch. Byron Lynch out in front, and they will be methodical.
Yeah, and that's all right. The Railers up 9, and they can take some time off.
In the corner, Eisenman. Eisenman back out front, Lynch. Lynch going to drive in the lane. Nice bounce pass. Peters, layup time, got it, and the 1.
Yeah, and great drive there by Lynch, and found his big guy, Peters, cutting to the hoop.
Peters going to go to the line with 1. A fine sophomore. He's got 9 so far. He can break into double figures with this free throw. Lincoln up 32-25. He can make it a 6-point game. That's 4 fouls on Jake Biven. So 2 Railers in foul trouble. Peyton Cook comes back in the game for Kingsley. Remind you, Chase Lowry, Edward Jones Financial, is a proud sponsor of Railer basketball. Call financial advisor Chase Lowry, 217-732-7524. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Missed the free throw, and Sassi comes out of there with a board.
Yeah, it's one thing he hasn't done a good job of this game has been Peters, now 3 of 6 from the line.
Well, leaving Biven and Cook in the game with 4 fouls, but hey, 3 minutes to go. You go with what you got.
Yep.
Out front, Schilling. Trey. Sassi had Biven open in the corner. Now gets it to Biven. Biven has got somebody all over him. Waldinger, I think, got the foul, and Biven falls out of bounds.
Yeah, 16 fouls it should be now on Mahomet, and the Railers 6 as well.
So next foul, either team in the bonus. And the foul was on Jacob Waldinger. That, I believe, is his first. And as Josh said, the team's 6. Lincoln inbounds under their own basket. They go into Cook. Cook out front, Schilling. Railers going to pull it out and look for a layup or get some free throws. Sassi. Out front, Cook. Cook to Gowan. Out front, Sassi. Sassi in trouble, gets it to Cook. Cookie Monster to Sassi, lost the basketball. Schilling picks it up, got fouled, threw it up, nearly got it in.
Well, wow. A little lower luck for the Railers here tonight. And we tried to hit a cutting Sassi. He didn't catch it, but it kicked off his knee. And then thank goodness Schilling was right on that block because it went right to him. And then Schilling up got fouled by Peters. So Trey will go to the line, and that's the 17th foul. Good. Free throw up and good for Schilling. 17th foul on Mahomet, so the Railers will be in the bonus with any more fouls.
Schilling made the first of 2, 33-25 Railer leads. Second one, back to the iron up.
No good.
Get it. Schilling got his own rebound. How about that? Gowan, Cook. Boy, if you're Ryan Bosch, that's got to make you want to pull your hair out.
Yeah, and his
Schilling, somebody's got all over him, and he got fouled again.
Yeah, I thought the guy here that didn't call it in front of Coach Alexander's getting an earful a little bit, but he was pretty ticky-tacky early on in the game, and that call was right in front of him, so he didn't get it. But Schilling going to go to the line again after he missed the second of the bonus last possession, but he was able to get his own rebound. He's going to go back and try and get 2 for 2 here.
Made the all-important first one, make it 34-25, the Lincoln lead. Headline Salon, located at 602.5 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, where your hair makes a statement. See Jasmine, the massage therapist, at 217-651-8310.
Yeah, Schilling up and good with 2 of 2, so Trey 3 of 4 the last possession, 2 possessions here.
And Mahomet nearly threw the basketball away, gets it across the timeline. 2:06 to go in a basketball game. Lincoln up 10. Out front, Eisenman. Yeah. Eisenman, Peters.
Get out on Waldinger.
Peters.
Or Eisenman.
Eisenman, Randolph in the corner. Waldinger. They go out front. Eisenman, Peters in the lane. Peters going to spin against Saucy. Throws it up. No good. Rebound. And Eisenman got it somehow. Out to Waldinger. Shot up. No good. Ball batted away by Mahomet. Randolph chases it down. Doggone it.
Yeah, a couple.
Oh, Eisenman looked like he drug the pivot foot there out front.
Sure did.
Waldinger, Eisenman, volleyball line, 3 short, no good. Rebound, Cook there to grab it.
All right, another good defensive possession and really a possession for all threes by Mahomet. They didn't have to go that early with the 3 ball, but they chose to, and Raylor's able to get a stop and a rebound.
Minute 22, sorry, to go in here in the basketball game. Lincoln run a little bit of clock. Biven down the lane, layup, and got fouled.
Another nice drive on a little handoff, and as you get Jake Biven going downhill, and especially when he is able to dribble to that right side, he does a pretty good job of getting a layup or getting fouled. Biven up and good, so those have been good from the free throw line here tonight. Now 6 of 8 on the night from the free throw line.
Ryan Bosch going to take a full timeout. So I'll tell you what, let's keep it right here and remind you that Town & Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer basketball at Town & Country Bank, their mission is to help empower the financial well-being of our communities one person at a time. Heartland Community College is Lincoln's community college. At Heartland, you'll get the personal attention and support you need to be a successful student. Discover Heartland. Discover your future.
Schneider Masonry, family owned and operated in Central Illinois with over 40 years of experience, serving builders, contractors, and homeowners. Free estimates available. Call Brad at 217-314-9654.
Blades Hair and Nail Salon, located at 241 Madigan Drive in Lincoln, offering salon services for hair, skin, waxing, nails, lashes, and brows. That's where Lloyd goes and gets his brows done. Go online to bladeshairandnailsalon.com. Call 217-732-7213.
Joe Ryan Country Financial, located at 509 Pulaski Street in downtown Lincoln. Call 217-735-4385.
All right, we're about ready to end this basketball game. A minute 15 to go with Lincoln up 36-25. And Biven will be at the free throw line after Ryan Bosch took a full timeout. Cam Nelson getting ready to come back into the basketball game.
Senior 14, Paige Kingsley. Senior number 23, Connor Meager. Jake Biven to the line, shooting 1.
Connor Meager in the basketball game, one of those seniors, one of the 6 seniors on this club. Biven missed it.
Now the Railers 6 of 9 on the night from the free throw line. 36-25 with a minute left here.
In the corner, Eisenman fake the 3. Out front, Waldinger. Lincoln doing a pretty good job covering the shooter.
Yeah, done a really good job on Eisenman tonight. He's a standstill shooter, and they have really done a good job of running at him and making him put the ball on the floor, and then that's something he's not comfortable with.
Meager tipped that one away. Cook came out of there with it, got it to Kingsley, and Cage going to go to free throw line with 54.2 seconds to go. Cage has already got a deuce on the evening.
Well, it looks like Railers got all their seniors out there. Camden Nelson getting ready to check in.
Kingsley missed the free throw.
Into the Lincoln lineup, number 1.
You know, Josh is probably academic, but free throws are going to be very important once you start the postseason.
Yeah, Jake Biven going to check out for the final time here at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium as Camden Nelson comes in. Kingsley with the free throw up and good, so give Kingsley 3 on the night.
Southpaw makes it 37-25. Mahomet in the backcourt. Out front, Randolph. Randolph, Waldinger. They go in the corner. Eisenman drives baseline. Doesn't take any shot. Throws it out to Randolph. Baseline, Peters. Peters going to try and back in on Sassi. Threw it away. Tried to throw it back to Eisenman. And off Eisenman's hands right into the Lincoln crowd. This big crowd still here, probably waiting for autograph night. You'll probably get a lot of autograph requests yourself, Josh.
Well, these kids now don't know who I am. They have no idea if I played basketball or not.
Kingsley to Cook, he slams it home! Kaboom! Well, that'll put the exclamation point on things, Josh.
Yeah, it was a nice pass by Kingsley, too. A great feed, and Cook went up and hammered it home.
Well, people ask why Cook doesn't dunk it. There it was.
Yeah.
39-25, the Lincoln lead, and this one's all but over. Mahomet passing the ball around. They go inside Peters. He's going to get a layup. 39-27. And Kingsley will get it to Sassi. It looks like Lincoln will just dribble the clock out. Nelson in the front court. Ball stripped away from him, and they are going to call.
Yeah, foul.
Call a foul.
Yep.
With 2.2 seconds to go. So Nelson can break into the 40-point mark tonight for Lincoln. As Lincoln up 39-27. That will bring the defensive average down slightly.
Yeah. If
Nelly nails the first free throw and make it 40-27, and that's Nelson's first points on the evening.
Nice to see the seniors get in the scoring book. I think every one of them. Meager not quite not yet, but. Nelly, good job by the seniors.
Nelly the second one, and that's going to end it from Lincoln Community High School, where the Rail Splitters beat Mahomet-Seymour tonight 41-27. We are going to send it back to the WLCN studios for a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we will have the post-game show, scoring, and an interview with Coach Alexander. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Raider Basketball on WLCN FM. Back here at a happy Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium, where a beautiful woman has just brought Josh Connick popcorn.
Yeah. Cold and old popcorn, probably from the sophomore game. But
I didn't see my wife bringing me anything, pal.
No, she knows you're going to the concession stand or the cafeteria after this, as they got the meal, the appreciation night. But again, the Raiders win it here, 41-27. We'll run through the scoring here. First for the Bulldogs, Trey Peters. Peters led them, the only guy in double figures for the Bulldogs. 11 points for Trey Peters, 5 points for Finley Randolph, and also Jacob Waldinger. 2 points for Byron Lynch, Dayton Eisenman, and Carter Selk to round out the 27 for the Bulldogs. The Railers were led here tonight. Nobody in double figures, but a couple guys with 9. Peyton Cook with 9, and also Trey Schilling with 9 points. 7 for Aiden Gowan, 6 for Keon Carson, 4 points for Tyler Saucy, 3 for Cage Kingsley, 2 for Camden Nelson, and 1 free throw, Jake Biven. Again, the Railers win it here 41-27.
Well, a 41-27 win, Josh, and that wraps up the regular season. That is the 100th victory in 4 years for this group of 6 seniors. Quite an accomplishment, as we spoke in the pregame show, considering everything that they've been through. You know, COVID stops us before we get to the sectional final as they're freshmen. Their sophomore year, basically there was no postseason and a rush season. I mean, we had, I think it was 23 games in about a month's time. They went 18-5. Last year, you still had COVID kind of hanging over your shoulder, and they still put up 24 victories, made it to the regional title game. This year, kind of getting back to normal. They're 25-5, and now it's time to get down to business. Everybody's 0-0 starting this weekend.
Yeah, and you say get back to normal, and then you said 25-5, and that's the normal for this program, isn't it? I mean, it's really become unbelievable. We're spoiled, really. I mean, you look at the Mahomet-Seymour, with a record of now 12-16, and we haven't had, thank goodness, we haven't had one of them in a long time. With just 20 games is expected anymore for this program, and what Coach Alexander and the guys before him have built to get to this point. And after a season where you lost a little bit from last year with the point guard and Paulus going down, but boy, nothing really changed. I mean, just the same type of defense and the same intensity and the same type of program just keeps going on. And next thing you look up, and the Railers are 25-5.
Yeah, and you sit and talk about they've got there's a great system in place here that, fortunately for Coach Al and everybody else, the kids buy into the system. The parents buy into the system. That's a large part of it. The community buys into the system and supports it. And you've got that feeder system where you've got kids taught at the very beginning what they're going to need to take it to that next level and play at the high school level, whether it's freshman, sophomore, varsity. The kids get that instruction down at the lower levels. Even in the youth basketball, they get that fundamental instruction that's going to carry them through.
Well, we hope the Railers have a couple more in them, because now it's regional time, Jay, and you've had a great season, yes, but for the most part, you're always remembered by how you do in the postseason, and this team, as we talked about, has a real good chance of winning a regional, which is going to start on Wednesday. And first things first is you got to take care of the first game, and then, like you said earlier, there's a good chance you're going to see these guys, Mahomet, again in a regional championship.
Well, and we talked about this Tuesday night. They played probably their best game in probably a couple of years. They minimized, really, you didn't see a lot of the silly mistakes. They took care of the basketball, especially in the second half. But as you know from coaching and from playing, postseason play will magnify your mistakes. They become that much more important.
Yeah.
They're going to have to take care of the basketball. They're going to have to shoot a little bit better, be a little bit better offensively, and make free throws going down the stretch. Those are going to be the important things, because the defense, we know the defense is going to be there. It's been there all year long. This team plays defense very well, but they're going to have to make sure that they don't make the silly mistakes we've seen at points in the year.
Well, and physicality ramps up too.
Yes.
And the officials tend to not call as much, especially on the defensive end, and you can really get after some guys and hang and claw and lean on, and that's exactly what Mahomet does, and that's something we struggle with, because it's a struggle for us to get by some defenders that are holding and a little bit stronger, and sometimes just, even if they're not as quick, they're just stronger and they can hold us up a little bit.
And as you said, being strong with the basketball is important, especially in the postseason, because you may not get that call in the postseason that you got during the regular season, and looking at the ref isn't going to help you. You're just going to have to be strong with the basketball.
Yeah, and a lot of times, in the way it is now, even no matter your record, you have a chance to meet someone on their home court, which in the day when I was playing, and I'm sure when you were coming through, that the best teams always hosted a regional. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. So you've got a chance to, which we did last year, right? We were the higher seed than Mahomet, and we found them on their on their home court. So the way the IHSA does it now is, to me, not right. But you've got a chance. You're going to see MacArthur is going to host a sectional. It shouldn't, just to me, it shouldn't happen. I mean, that should be a sizable advantage for them if they can get there when they play the sectional and the sectional championship. So, the Rails have to be strong and they've got to be consistent, and we'll have to shoot the ball again like we can, I think, and we should be okay in the regional. And then, of course, everything can happen in sectional. I've been on teams where we were their 6th seed, and we played at Champaign Central and went in and won it, and then that which got us to the convention center to ultimately play Lanphier in the triple overtime game. So there's always that chance.
Well, the old regional sectional complex, I think that was still in effect when you played. That was something I know Coach Wallace had pushed for and finally got into place, which was if you were one of the top 4 seeds, you hosted the first 2. You basically were a regional host.
Reason to play in the regular season, right?
You hosted the first 2 games. If you were one of the top 8 seeds, you were hosting a game against the bottom 8 seeds of the 16-team regional sectional complex. There was an additional reward for playing well during the season, and I think that's the way it should go back to. You reward the teams that have played well. Hey, if somebody needs to go on the road and win a game, they can. I can remember when Jeff Alexander was a senior. They were a 6th seed. They went into Danville and beat the 3 seed on the road. Mm-hmm. You can do it if you got a good enough basketball team.
Well, and if you're worried about that, then you just got to be better in the regular season.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
So you can host, but yeah, they've got it backwards, and I don't know if they're going to go back to it. I think a lot of that thought was that they try to set it up for a regional area so that you're not traveling so far, but that's not worked. It's not doing that what they, I think, thought or sought out to do. So let's just go back to the way reward the teams that have the good regular seasons, and go back to the way it should be.
Well, we're going to send it back to the WLCN studios. We're going to take a 60-second timeout as we wait for Coach Al to join us on the post-game show. Again, Lincoln wins at 41-27. You're listening to Raider Basketball on WLCN.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium, Jay Harden, Josh Connick, where Lincoln wins at 41-27. They go 25-5 on the year as Coach Al and a regular Coke making its way up the stands. A regular Coke tonight?
Hey, I've been on regular Coke for a while. I'm trying to quit.
So Coach comes up with a regular Coke tonight. Kind of surprising. Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory. Go 25-5 on the year. Josh and I were talking. This group of seniors, in the 4 years they've been here, are 120. So, I mean, the 4 teams they've been on, 120 record. And we were talking, I don't know that there's any group of seniors that have faced what they have faced in the 4 years they've been here. When you talk about COVID interrupting their freshman year and really impacting their sophomore year with no postseason and a condensed schedule, and then even kind of COVID hanging over you last year. This year was probably the first and only normal year that they had in the 4 years.
Yeah, and it's not only affect our seniors, but it's affects a few grades down the list, even down into the junior highs. And, hopefully we'll rebound from it. And, I think we saw some rough basketball this year and the last couple years, and I think a lot of it has to do with the COVID and people not being able to work out and do the things that they need to do to improve their game.
the team looked really good in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, things just kind of slowed down there. I was wondering if we were going to score in the second quarter, and then we got a couple layups there at the end, but it seems like we struggled offensively after the first quarter.
Yeah, they make you play, and they take a lot of things away from you, and we've beaten them 3 times. Beating a team 3 times is really, really hard. And then you take a look down the list, and it could be a 4th time here in another, 8 days, 9 days. So our guys got to get focused. I don't think we played with the fire we played with Tuesday night. But I hope that we get into a regional that, you got to understand the next loss that you have, you're done.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about, coming in here a little bit different opponent and a little bit different style, obviously, than the Generals. And it seemed like almost where you were concerned with the pressure that MacArthur can give you. It's almost, I'm not sure the Railers, I know they played better on Tuesday night, but they almost prefer that a little bit. I think we can get more back cuts. We tend to get to the basket a little more. This Chatham-like, Mahomet-like defense is tough for us to get by. They're stronger kids, and we can't really get by them. And do you expect to see that more in our regional?
Well, I do in our regional, except we're going to get the winner of Danville and Rantoul, which isn't a good draw. If we don't play with intensity and play the level that we need to, Danville's they're won 9 games, but I'm telling you, they're a good basketball team. They're very athletic. They're playing well right now, as most teams need to. So, we got to get ourselves focused and make sure that we're doing the right things on and off the court.
Yeah, and that'll come quick, as you said, Coach. The next loss, and you start to hand in your uniform. But 25-5, it becomes, we were talking about earlier, becomes the norm here anymore. And you didn't replace a whole lot, but you replaced one big piece last year and this year in Elijah Paulus. And 25-5. Not sure that you thought about it or before the season of what your record could be, but I would think you're pretty pleased with the regular season. And obviously, you're mostly remembered by your postseason play when you go in the thoughts of Railer Nation. But boy, what a regular season that these guys have had.
It's been a really good season. Last 2 years for them, for most part. Many of them were part of that last year, and hopefully they remember the regional and what the feeling was last year over at Mahomet after Mahomet beat us. And hopefully we got that on our minds, and we can. Be ready to take care of it, but we got to take care of business first before we even think about Mahomet. You got to play the winner of the Danville-Rantoul game, and again, it's going to be on a court that we haven't played on. I'm not sure they've played on it. They're going to play it in their new gym. They've got 2 gyms over there, and most of the games they play, I think they play their regular season games in their older gym. And I would like to play in the older gym. It's got more history. Yeah. It's an older style gym, which is much, to me, it's a better shooting gym, where we get into these newer gyms, and it's just like the Normal West, the Chathams, and those type of gyms there. So, but we got to go play, and it doesn't matter where we play. We just got to be on our court and play.
If you don't mind, you've had these kids now for 4 years. Maybe we could kind of go through and talk individually about the seniors just briefly. Peyton Cook has had, has played since he's been on the varsity roster since his freshman year. You've talked about him being a late bloomer. I have a feeling that wherever he goes to college, somebody's going to get a diamond in the rough, because he's got still quite a bit of potential there.
Well, I believe that. He's not very strong, even though we try to say we get into the weight room, but and go back to when Gavin Block, and he worked his tail off in our weight room. And, Gavin came back from college, and he said, Coach, you don't have an idea what we do in the weight room, So it's a whole different ball game when you get to that level. And Peyton will be stuck in the weight room. They won't let him out. He may not see a basketball until he gets in there and gets himself stronger and so forth. And again, I think in 2, 3, 4 years, Peyton will be a pretty good basketball player if he wants to be. And that's where it comes to, is because this is fun. You're playing with your classmates and everything and so forth, but you go to college, it's a job. And any sport you go to, you have to put the time in. You have to be dedicated. You have to want to be there. And, that's going to have to happen. So
Jake Biven, a tough kid playing a forward position at only 6'2", but a strong kid and a kid that's been able to show that he can get to the rack, especially with that right-hand dribble. He can get there and get layups. Maybe not the best outside shooter we've ever had here at the high school, but he does get those 10, 15-footers in.
That's his shot, the 10 and 15 feet.
Great defensively.
Yes.
And, he locks people down. And he's big on the wing. That's one of the things that we'll miss from Jake is his size. And, he's just tough. He is just physically and mentally tough. Nobody's going to beat him up. He's going to go after it. And, I think Tuesday maybe, he took a fall and on his hip, and he basically set the second half of practice out last night with an ice pack on it. So hopefully, I thought he didn't catch the ball very clean tonight, and I think a lot of that had to do with, not being able to get down and set. So hopefully here, and he'll have a couple days to get cleaned up. But what an outstanding individual. Take him off the basketball court. He is A1 kid and great student, got a great future. I just hope he stays in touch.
Tyler Saucy, big, strong kid who showed the ability to shoot the basketball outside, and we've seen him take the ball inside from time to time and hit maybe a 10-footer or get a layup. Tyler's had a good career here at Lincoln High School.
He really has, and his minutes have really gone up since, Hayes sprained his ankle, and, Tyler is one that needs to be in and out of the game because he plays so hard and he wants to please, and he's another individual. People ask me, why are you still doing this? And I just sat around and I said, well, if you knew our kids, you'd understand why. It's great to be around them. They're great individuals. And, Tyler, he's probably going to end up on the farm and doing that. But what an individual. Very classy guy.
Cammie Nelson has shown the ability to shoot the basketball, comes from a basketball family, and when he's on, he's on.
He is, and you got to get him in, and when you're needing offense, you can put him out there, and he's one that spends a lot of time in the gym, and he's another one that just might fill out a little bit and become a little bit stronger. And all our kids, I think our kids are not very strong. And I think the maturity of them will really make them some good basketball players. And again, great family, great individual, and fun to be around.
Cage Kingsley earlier this year in one of the games showed that he could come in and really give you a spark, and he's been a spark plug in several games and a serviceable reserve point guard for you.
Him, Connor, a guy's got kind of stuck behind the depth chart, and one of the things that we do have is we do have a lot of kids that can play, and Cage is in one of them positions, and I thought tonight he played a key part in what we did tonight. He come in, got a layup right away when we were not scoring. He come in and got a big layup, and he plays so hard when he gets out there, and he wants to please, and I think he tries to do way too much because he's wanting to make things to happen and so forth. But he's long and he covers a lot of ground, and he got his hands on some balls tonight and done the same thing.
You mentioned Connor Meager. Sometimes people people see a kid on the end of the bench and they think, well, he only gets mop-up minutes, and Connor had, I think, 8 points the other night when you beat Stanford Olympia. But people don't understand sometimes those guys are very important in practice. They push your starters to be better. They do whatever, maybe scout work that you need done, or from a scout team perspective. But those kids that play in practice every day are sometimes just as important as the 5 you got on the floor.
People, take a look at them, and Connor's one of them that's caught behind about 5 or 6 wings. And, on another year, he would probably be right there. But with the depth that we have, and you just can't play 10, 12 kids. You don't get the feel of the game when you're in and out and setting and so forth. So he's just caught behind, but he's worked hard. He's been good, and hopefully it's been a great experience for him, and it's something that he can take with him.
I don't want to leave out Aiden Worth, but managers are very important to this program and have been, well, since I was in high school and even before then.
Yeah, I've always had great managers, and I had one that's got a scholarship on one, and he's in the business now. He's in the equipment business, and I think on Twitter, I don't know, I was talking to his grandpa tonight that he was voted I think there's a Western Big Six whole state that he was ranked number one equipment manager at Wyoming, at the University of Wyoming. So, they come in here and they do a great job, and like I said, they're very important. They do a lot of work behind the scenes, and they're fun to be around. They're really, really fun to be around.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory. We've enjoyed the seniors, their 4 years here. We've enjoyed this season, and now it's time, as I told Josh, now it's time you get down to business. You're 0-0, and it's time to march into the postseason where it's one and done.
Well, that's what I told them in the locker room, that everybody's 0-0 now, and everybody thinks they can win. So that's the bad part, because if you got a team that doesn't feel very good about themselves, you're in pretty good shape. But everybody feels good about themselves right now, and they're going to come into the game relaxed, have nothing to lose, and those are the worst kind of teams to play.
Well, first thing we got to do is we got to get the girls a regional championship tomorrow night up at Bloomington against Champaign, and then you go into action at Champaign against the winner of Rantoul and Danville on Wednesday night. First part of a doubleheader there.
We do, and I'd like to take our Railer Nation was fantastic tonight. Great crowd. I'd like to take our crowd with us and go right on up Interstate 55 and park them in Bloomington Gym for the girls, because they're fun to watch, and I really think they can play a long way. But it's like everything else. You're one game at a time, and it only takes one to trip up. So, but I think this is a very, very special group of girls, and they work hard, they play hard, and they got a lot of confidence. So it'll be even more if you pack the gym for them and help them out, and maybe they'll play for 3 weeks.
And we hope to see everybody up there tomorrow night to root on the girls, and then if they win at Rochester on Tuesday night for the sectional, and then Wednesday night over at Champaign for the boys' first round regional game.
A lot of basketball next week.
Yep.
Yeah. Tuesday, Thursday. Hopefully the girls will be playing. Hopefully boys on Wednesday and Friday. So before you know it, it'll all come to an end. So you might as well jump on and enjoy the last couple weeks here.
Coach, thanks for the time. Thanks for coming up and joining us, and thanks for a great season. It's not done yet. We got the postseason to go. Plus, we're keeping Josh from getting down there and signing autographs and getting a sandwich.
About signing autographs. I'm a little hungry.
I know. I figured that.
My autograph is washed up by now.
It's Fan Appreciation Night. Josh has got food to eat and autographs to sign. So we're going to thank Coach for coming up and let him get down and get something to drink and eat down there at Fan Appreciation Night. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone. It's been a special place to play. Our kids appreciate it, and you can't say enough about Lincoln, Illinois. Great place.
Neil Alexander joins us on the postgame show. Victorious coach tonight as Lincoln wins it over Mahomet-Seymour. So for Lloyd Kirby, our marketing manager, for my broadcast partner, Josh Connick, for Jolie Lurcher, who does an excellent job back at the studio. We can't say enough about her. For station manager, Jim Ash. For Scott Kirby, who the voice of the Railers in absentia tonight. Scott, we hope you can get back and march the Railers to state. Lincoln wins it tonight, 41-27 over Mahomet-Seymour. We want you to thank each and every one of our sponsors. Please patronize those sponsors and say thank you for their sponsorship of Lincoln Railer and Lincoln Lady Railer basketball as well. So for everybody, this is Jay Harden signing off here from Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium for the 2022-2023 season, the last home game for the Lincoln Rail Splitters. We're going to send it back to the studios, the Classic Rock Experience. Good night, and thanks for listening.
WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Basketball. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer basketball is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Culver's of Lincoln, home of the Butterburger. Stop by before or after the game, located at 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Heartland Community College is Lincoln's community college. At Heartland, you'll get the personal attention and support you need to be a successful student. Discover Heartland, discover your future. Visit heartland.edu/Lincoln. Schneider Masonry, family owned and operated in Central Illinois with over 40 years of experience, serving builders, contractors, and homeowners. Free estimates available. Call 217-314-9654. Blades Nail and Hair Salon, located at 241 Madigan Drive in Lincoln, offering salon services for hair, skin care, waxing, nails, lashes, and brows. Go online to bladeshairandnailsalon.com or call 217-732-7213. Joe Ryan Country Financial, located in downtown Lincoln at 509 Pulaski Street. Call 217-735-4385. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Basketball. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln.
Hi, Joe Ryan here with Country Financial. As pensions go by the wayside and your retirement approaches, have you thought about what your retirement income will look like? No, I'm not talking about how much money you have saved. I am talking about a retirement income, a guaranteed paycheck for life. That's right, a paycheck issued to you every month for the rest of your life. Sound interesting? Let's talk. 735-4385.
The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.